Hey guys, this is Billy Davison with Davison Pressure Washing coming from Hammond, Louisiana. I want to make this little video describing to some of the people out there that call me. I get a lot of calls around the country, people just starting into the business, and they just want to know a little more information. I'm always happy to speak with them about it. So I want to make this video, get a lot of questions of what kind of equipment we use. A lot of people are buying these little Home Depot pressure washings units, and they okay, but if you want to go and get into the business and actually be competitive, and even if it is a part-time thing, this equipment and this video will help you out a little bit. We'll first start out talking about this buffer tank. This buffer tank is used because this unit, they pull about 8 gallons a minute, so you're not going to get 8 gallons a minute off of a water spigot, so you'd want to use a buffer tank. And usually I'll let about 100 gallons or so get into it. It's got some markings on the tank before I actually start the machine, and that way I have at least 100 gallons to start off with. And you're not all the time on the trigger, so whenever you let off the trigger, the water's continuing to flow from the customer spigot. So usually if you start out with 125 gallons, you're good to go. Even if you got to stop 5 minutes, take a quick break, let it catch up. We'll first start talking about this machine here. This machine is a 24 horsepower Honda, and 2-cylinder electric start, and it has an auxiliary gas tank there, and a battery box down in this corner here. And all that comes with it when you purchase it. It's belt drive, general pump, excellent pumps, excellent motors. And this line here is a bypass line, and it feeds back into the tank for when you let off the trigger. And it's actually a pretty good flow that comes back through this line, so you want to make sure you got it pretty secure where just won't bounce around. I have had them pop right out, so you may want to tie that in place or whatever. And it's a 6-gallon tank, fuel tank. It's a adjustable unloader. You have your water outlet. So this is the pressure side right here. This is the business end. You would quick connect your pressure hoses to it, and also pigtail it downstream as well if you're going to be doing some soap applications. This line here is a water inlet, and it feeds directly to the bulkhead on the other side of the tank, and that's what draws the water out of the tank. You don't need no pump or anything to pressurize this. These general pumps are what they call long stroke pumps, so they will siphon very well with no problems. You can actually draw your tank dry, if you're not careful, which you don't want to do because you'd ruin that pump in a hurry. And having this buffer tank is an absolute must, because if you try to run this just off of a spigot, you would burn this about a $1,200 pump up in just a matter of minutes, and it wouldn't be covered by the warranty. But if you never used a machine like this, 2-cylinder, 24 horsepower, 8 gallons a minute, 3,500 psi, this thing is a beast. It is 300 pounds of solid muscle. Trust me when I tell you, I've used those 4-gallon a minute machines for many years, and this is not even on the same category as those machines. This is actually a professional unit, high proficiency. You can get a lot of work done really quick and be very competitive with your prices. You would be working more and making more per hour. And actually on this side is, I'll take this cover off. This is his twin brother, actually. It's an identical pressure washer to this one here. And it's 3,500 psi, 8 gallons per minute, electric start. Same setup. You got your choke, throttle, hour meter down below, same as this one. Spin on all filters. Real easy to maintain. Auxiliary gas tank. Same thing with this. You got a water bypass mode. It goes back into the tank. That's why you see 2 hoses there. Adjustable unloader. And these two machines together, there's just words cannot describe how much you can get done compared to the smaller machines. This is the little rig I got set up on my my discharge on my. This is a 275 gallon tank, by the way. So if I usually let about 100 gallons or so get into it, maybe 125 depending on the water pressure, and I just run my hose right into the top of the tank. There's actually, I don't know if you can see it there, there's a cutout right there. And what I generally do, if it's been sitting for a while, I'll rinse the tank out before I just run a water hose and kind of splash it around in there, and this actually pulls right off. So I got all this just where it slides on. This is an on and off valve. And I just rigged this up with some PVC, 2-inch PVC, and put a T in here. And this feeds one pressure washer, and this feeds the other unit. Works out really well. The only downside of this, if you're running both of these machines wide open, you need to double feed this tank. Try to put 2 spigots into there. So you need to have plenty water hose on hand, because at 8 gallons a minute each, you're pulling 16 gallons per minute. That's if you're running them wide open, which we rarely do, but occasionally we do. We're doing concrete. And it will draw down this tank pretty rapidly. And you have to mind this tank, because you don't want to run it out of water. You stop for a break or something, let it catch up. You can put a low water shut-off valve sensor on here. I'm not familiar with them, but once the water level gets low enough in here, it's like a little float valve or something that kills the pressure washers. It's like a ground switch or something, from the way I understand it. This is one of our surface cleaners. If you're running a surface cleaner and you're going with a bigger machine than what you already have, make sure you have it optimized. Make sure it can handle 8 gallons per minute. And if it can, make sure you got the proper tips. The tips mean everything. If you're using the same old tips that you were using with the smaller unit, you will put a lot of back pressure on these units, and it's not too good for them. You can hear them, the back pressure on it. They want to run hot. These units are air cooled, but that water flow does keep them cool. So make sure your tips are optimized for that. Other than that, any other questions y'all might have, feel free to contact me at any time. My number is 985-345-0778. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope this helped.